those who may not know, October is Pregnancy and Infant Loss Awareness Month. These sorts of losses can be extremely difficult to go through, and yet sometimes are not really talked about enough.
That's absolutely right, Audrey. And while these situations can be extremely difficult to navigate, our next live guest thankfully has some advice on how you can do so, whether you're dealing with this personally or if you're just trying to be there and support a loved one.
Let's say good morning to Bethany Godwin joining us live. She is a licensed therapist and owner of Twilight Counseling. She is also the co-founder of Postpartum Resource Center of the Triad. Great to have you, Bethany.
Hey, good morning. Thanks for having me.
You're so welcome. So first and foremost, why is it so vital to bring awareness about this sort of topic?
Yeah, so this is an often really traumatic grief loss experience that despite how frequent this actually occurs, it's a very, can be silent and a very isolating and lonely experience for parents going through this loss.
And Bethany, what are some of those aspects when you're talking about going through that sort of loss that parents experience when they have to wake up on the other side and say, hey, we have to figure out how to move forward?
Yeah. So the unique factors that occur with this type of loss, many parents are having to make decisions that are very difficult that they likely did not prepare for in a very emotional time. And so that can be very overwhelming. This loss can also have many themes of shame and guilt and stigma associated with it. And parents and supporters may respond differently based on the timing of the loss and may be unsure of how to respond as well.
And it is a different scenario for each individual family. We know that. But do you have some advice on ways that we can support a loved one in this situation who may have experienced loss, recently?
Yeah. So for those that are supporting the parents throughout this loss, it's really important that we acknowledge it. Many people may feel really uncomfortable and not sure how to respond to it because it is so heartbreaking and tragic often. And so they may tend to kind of avoid to give the parents their space. But it's very important that we acknowledge this loss and we talk about if the baby was named to talk about the baby by its name. If the parents do not have any other living children, we want to still acknowledge them as parents because that identity piece feels very odd at that moment. We can also support parents with practical tasks that need to be completed despite their grieving. So maybe helping with lawn care or household cleaning. If they have any other children, helping with childcare, providing meals, those basic things that can be helpful to allow the parents to have their time for grieving. It can be also helpful possibly to provide them with some memorial items or assist with creating keepsakes, a way to help them express their grief. So those are some different ideas of things that could be helpful.
Those certainly are, Bethany. And one of those other things that I think every friend or family member of someone who's going through this wants to know is, what should I avoid at this time? What are some things that could possibly be triggering to a parent who is experiencing loss?
Yeah, definitely. So a lot of times I find what's hard is for those of us that are supporting these parents, we feel very helpless because this is not something that we can take away for them. And it's hard to see people in that pain. So we may want to kind of rush in with some statements or phrases that we think might be really helpful, but it can actually be very harmful. So we want to avoid saying things like, well, at least, or you should. Quotes or phrases that can be commonly used that suggest maybe a reason for the loss. Those can be very painful at that moment. We don't want to rush their healing by forcing them to attend events that we think might be helpful for them or help them to move through it. So being aware of maybe events such as a baby shower or a birthday party for a child or a christening event, those are just some different examples that might come with some sensitivity at that time, and we want to kind of let the parents lead on what's going to be helpful for them. We also want to recognize that if another pregnancy occurs and there's a healthy baby born, that is not going to replace that grief and that loss. So we want to make sure that we are just giving them that space. We don't want to criticize their decisions that they're making at this time or question their decisions. We want to kind of help just lead wherever they're going, so support them.
Bethany, it's been a pleasure to have you on our show. Thank you so much for your time. And for you at home, if you are interested in learning more, we will have a list of our resources on triadcw.com along with this interview. But for now, feel free to visit postpartum.net, that website on your screen.